Okay, hi there. Listen, guys, I just wanted to pop in here now because I've been having some comments on the posts that I've been putting up regarding taking a look at my webinar, and I came to realise that people were really still often quite stuck in the old counselling and therapy, kind of having to go along as couples sort of way. So I really wanted to come in here and let you know that it really is possible to save your marriage and have that relationship of your dreams, even if your spouse isn't on board yet. I've made some notes here, so I'm going to be looking down a bit, but because I want to make sure that you get the best of this information in here. So I'll explain how in just a second, but firstly, let's talk about what so many people think, why so many people think that this is impossible, and why I'm getting the comments that I'm getting. So the truth is, you've been let down in this way, really. So many experts, they want us to believe that listening intently to our partner, understanding and truly appreciating, what it is that is their problem in the relationship, so that you end up focusing on the things that aren't working, looking at fixing those specific things, and that this is the key to saving the marriage, and compromise has to come along the way. And on the surface, I get it, that sounds great, but if you're doing this, I guess, at least you're talking, and you may find out, if both of you are able to be open and honest in this way, you might just find out what exactly that is going on, that underlying issue. But, if you can find out how the other person is feeling, then maybe you can gain an understanding of that, and perhaps an understanding on how to fix it. And compromising can work, certainly for a short time, but honestly, ultimately, these well-intentioned recommendations, they're just going to create deeper divides. They create bigger resentment over time, and they're just wrong, because having to listen intently to your spouse's issues when the relationship builds negative feelings of blame, it's just not right. The couple are already off kilter. You can't listen intently to someone who at this point in the relationship you're not even communicating on a normal day-to-day basis with. So, expecting a couple to be able to sit down and talk about their deepest vulnerable items is just unrealistic. Perhaps in the bounds of a clinic situation, in that counselling sort of environment, that might come out. But to expect it in the home environment, that natural environment where the arguments or stalemates have been, it's not going to happen. And if it does, it will bring up more feelings of anxiety. It will create shutdown, especially if there's any blame felt. And where once there might have been a glimmer of hope, that really starts to shut down. Now, working on fixing the issues that are raised, specifically, it's like treating a 10-inch knife wound with a plaster, with a band-aid. You're talking about literally skimming over the surface. We'd be looking at, sorting out the symptoms that have been raised and not that true and deep problem. And then compromise. I mean, that sounds great on the surface. It's something that we all hear, isn't it? That, compromise will sort it all out. And I'm going to quote Benjamin Franklin here when he said, "He who is convinced against his will is of the same opinion still." And that is as true in a relationship as it was when Benjamin Franklin was saying it. If you're compromising just to keep the peace, those dovebirds are going to fly away, and you will be left with the mess that they leave behind, because it's not sustainable. So the biggest reason for all of this is the total lack of empathy and love in any of this. It's just the absolute tragedy, because without that, the relationship will never be able to thrive, will never be able to survive, actually. So anyway, so that's the old way. That's why so many people are judging this thought process, is that you can step forward, you can make the difference in your relationship now. So it's really very simple. To lead with love, respect and kindness, firstly for you, for yourself, and then for your spouse. Have clear objectives for what you and what your purpose and your specific part in your relationship is, and know that you are completely in control of your emotions. It's so easily thought that our emotions are controlling us, and it's just not the truth. It's just patterns that we've created over time, sometimes since we were really tiny, but they are patterns, and they're patterns that can be interrupted. So here's why this is so wonderful. When you lead with love, respect, and kindness for yourself first, you open up places inside of you that could well have been shut down for many, many years. Maybe just weeks or months, but often years. And that's what's causing initial disharmony within the relationship. And when you can open up that space, it enables you to give that connection and begin to flow once again with your spouse. Having clear objectives for your part in your relationship. So not focusing on what your partner's doing wrong, what he or she said or didn't do or did do that wasn't right for you, but what are your objectives? What do you want in your relationship? And what will ensure that you are coming to a place of complete congruence? You see, where no compromise is needed or expected, because when you're in your truth, you will start to grow. And when you are not congruent, you just can't be honest, because you're not being the truest version of yourself. And if you're not the truest version of yourself, how can your spouse love you in the way that you need them to love you? So the best part of this is when you become completely in control of your emotions, you become the author of your own destiny. So happiness and joy by choice begin to rule, and that's what begins to open up that ability to enable you to have the relationship of your dreams without dragging up the past, without compromising or settling for anything less. Can you see why this is so powerful? Here's the thing though, no one else is teaching this in the way that we're teaching it. And the ones that are close, they're not coming from the space that we come from total comprehension of why this works, how it works, and why it's so important to lead with this example. Look, if this is something that you'd like to explore further, then I'd love to talk to you. Come on a call, we'll have a look at what's working, what's not working, and most importantly, where you want to get to. Now, if we can help you get there, we'll absolutely show you how, and if we can't, do you know what? We'll point you in whatever direction is next best for you. It's so important that people who do fabulously with us and the work that we do, they're ready to get going, they're committed to do what it takes to have that best relationship that they can possibly have, and they're committed and ready to do that now. So if that's you, we'll welcome you with open arms. Come on the phone for 45 minutes. Let's check that we're a fit. Let's check out what you've got going on, and that what we've got to offer can absolutely help you, and we will show you how. I'm going to pop the link in the comments to my diary. You can get on there. We'll pick a time that suits you and let's have a chat. All right. I'll speak to you again soon.